Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Hump Day. The Arsenal won. Ta-da! I love how our good friend from the Gooners podcast has pointed out there are 69 people waiting. He was just waiting for that number.
Yeah, he loves that. Favorite number.
Welcome back to the show. Amanda PG Tips, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very tired. I've been very busy raising a child, i.e. the puppy.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's been a lot of sleepless nights and stuff like that. But, really cool. We won today. How about them apples?
Them apples are good apples. And hello, everyone. I can see all your comments. Thank you for welcoming back. I've been working like 12 hours a day. I think it's easier to raise a puppy, honestly. Anyway.
I'm not sure about that. Well, I've been raising a puppy and working 12 hours a day. So trump that.
I can't. No, actually 14 hours. I'll trump it. Hello, Afterling. Hopefully I've said your word right. Listen, the Arsenal won. St Totteringham's day is on. We could do it on Sunday, and I'm going to be there. So excited.
So basically, our season has gotten down to the fact that it's about finishing above Tottenham now.
It is now, just this week. Gives us something to enjoy with. If you can't be happy after watching that Pepe masterclass tonight, then we won away from home.
Isn't it amazing how Arteta didn't really believe in Pepe for a while? Imagine if he'd have kind of believed in him and played him when he should have. Best player in the Europa League, has scored and assisted in as many goals in half the games this season as he was given last season. And, instead of kind of building a squad around his talent, I mean, as a manager, you should be able to see that. Fans like me just really ripped him because he deserved it, because he was rubbish in his first season. And
well, at the beginning of the season, during the season, you didn't rate Pepe anyway. And the second thing is maybe Arteta was planning this to bring him on.
At the beginning of the season, what I said is that he needs to step up. He's our most expensive signing ever, and he needs to start showing a little bit more more of the talent, and this season he has, so he gets credit.
He gets credit, and the way hopefully we're going to see Gabby next season. Hopefully Gabby's going to start the way he's finished this season, because I'll tell you something, we can't do the Aubameyang up top. We just can't. Not the way he's played virtually 99% of this season. He signs a contract and then we don't really see him. But
again, though, Martinelli's been ready to go for quite a while, and
but that's what you say. You don't know that. We're not.
Clearly he has been. He has been ready to go, and he's delivered.
Ready to go, but
Well, no, that's very different, because Balogun hasn't proven himself in the first team. Martinelli has. And
he's got a few goals. He hasn't proven himself.
Martinelli hasn't proven himself.
No, of course he hasn't. He's not been a star man every time he's come on. He's got a great goal tonight. He was in a brilliant position tonight. For me, Pepe's the one that's really stepped up in the last 6 months. And the thing is, if you'd have looked at our form from Christmas, we're about fourth, I think.
The league doesn't start at Christmas, Amanda. The league starts in August.
I know. And Arteta has really improved the team then, hasn't he?
Not really.
But for me, it's the people that cross the white line. I always say that.
But only players can say that. You can't keep saying that. Why do you keep saying that?
What, the players? Well, tonight, I'm not big.
So who do you credit tonight, Arteta or the players?
Absolutely the players.
Oh, okay. So why say that Martinelli hasn't proven himself in the team? Of course he has.
Well, he hasn't. He's come on and scored a few good goals. He hasn't been prolific.
But he's proved that he can.
Just let me finish a second. I think he's going to be prolific next season. I think Arteta's planned this.
No one's saying about prolific. What I'm saying is he's proven himself that he should be given a chance in this team. And Pepe and Martinelli, when they're together, there's a little bit of magic that happens. There's a spark. There's a flame. You know what I mean? So I think it's evident that Arteta's made some major mistakes this season with his choices and who he started and who he hasn't.
So does every manager.
No, we're talking about him, not every manager. He's our manager, Amanda. He's our guy. and he screwed up the Europa League semi-final, both legs. He made a mash of that. He's made major decisions playing Xhaka at left back. He's made terrible decisions dropping Pepe when he's hot. And now we're seeing a team play with a little bit more fluidity, less stress, less pressure, and you're seeing the results of that.
All I'm saying is, and I agree completely with a comment I've just seen, he's a great prospect, but he's not proven Martinelli. So I think he's dealing with him in the right manner. But I've always thought that with Martinelli. What I don't understand is what's really happened to Aubameyang. I mean, he's not stepped up, and that is a problem for us next season. I wonder what's going to happen. But Pepe, let's just talk about those two great goals tonight. And Tierney and Saka and everybody and Smith Rowe, they didn't stop. And I'd like to talk about VAR as well, and the fact that they should have had 2 men sent off. The fact that when their goal was given, where was all the hundreds of lines that we see for our goal? Never saw one on my channel. I don't know. I mean,
let's. I know you don't want to do play ratings, but that's what we do, and that's what the fans are expecting. So let's do that. No, but you've got the squad in front of you, right? So you can read them off, and then we can just rattle them off based on what we've seen.
I haven't got the squad in front of me.
Okay, we'll just bring it up on Google.
No, it's okay. We don't need to do player ratings. Let's just chat. All right. Let's ask the squaddies.
They want player ratings. They want to do their player ratings. So let's do the player ratings.
Actually, you do the player ratings.
Okay, Amanda, I'll do the player ratings. Okay, here we go. In goal, I will give Leno a 6. He had quite a bit to do, made a couple good saves. I think depending on what's happening with him and whether or not he wants to stay at Arsenal is another thing. I think there's been some inconsistencies this season, and I think that's had a lot to do with who's playing in the back line. Not being able to have like a solid back four that you can be and recognizable with every single game. I think you've seen a lot of the teams that have done well this season have been able to formulate that type of partnership. So that's been tough for him. But overall, I think he had a decent game.
Well, he made a great save, didn't he? Saved us a couple of times.
He did.
I don't actually think that he's. I don't think what you and Kev were saying the other night about the badge being too big for him. Maybe he's just not happy, or maybe it's all paper talk. Like I said, I'd give him a 7. I thought it was good.
I thought you weren't doing play ratings.
I'm happy to do them after that you've done them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chambers. Thank you. Rubbish channel, then go away. It's fantastic.
Hi, JT.
Good evening to everyone. 300 plus of you in live chat. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for throwing in your play ratings. I'm going to try and put as many of them as I can every single post-game show that we do for you. Let's do Chambers next, squaddies. Let's look into Chambers. You could argue that there was a challenge on him in the first half that was maybe a red card offence. I'm not a fan of Chambers at all, but when he's been asked to come into the team, he's done a decent job. And so for me, Chambers gets like a 5.5, decent, but he's not the answer at right back. He shouldn't be the answer for us going forward. He's been at the club too long and is one of those players that I think we can capitalise right now and sell.
Okay. Chambers, I'd give him a 6, actually. Don't think he did anything wrong. Don't think he did anything fantastic. But next one.
Let's do
Gabriel?
Holding.
Oh, Holding. Okay.
Rob Holding. Again, Rob Holding's the kind of player that isn't the answer for us going forward. He's not going to be the type of player that elevates Arsenal in the Premier League. He has an issue sometimes with positional movement, unless he's playing, in my opinion, with a more intelligent footballer than Gabriel. Amari, and we've seen in the past him excel playing with a Mertesacker, because Mertesacker was not about pace, he was about position, and he was able to dictate a lot of things in those games that we saw Holding excel in playing with him. So for me, Holding has positional issues that I think as the team evolves and moves forward and plays the way Arteta wants, I think that's going to be a bit of an issue. Tonight, he was a little bit better than usual. And so I will give him a 5, a 6.
Yeah, I think I'd go with a 6 with Holding. I don't think they did anything dramatic, but hopefully we'll have a brand new defender come the summer. Right, next one is Gabriel, I think, isn't it?
Yep. Gabriel, I think, has some issues. He's not been the same player. He seems to have regressed over a period of time. I'm not sure he and Holding are the best partnership together. I think that he has good pace. He's good in the air, but he's positionally sometimes inept, makes some poor decisions, seems late to tackles. And, but again, against a Crystal Palace team that already had their towels on the beach, I think he did a decent job. And tonight was probably one of the better performances we've seen of that partnership that I think has maybe been the poorest this season. So I'm going to give Gabriel 5.5.
I don't think Palace were on the beach. I think they just wanted to attack us for some reason. I don't know what went on there. Tried to take us out of the game. I thought Gabriel was quite poor. He'd get a 5 from me. I think he was to blame for the goal as well, if I'm honest. Right. Yep.
Well, I think the goal, our issues with the goal start ahead of the moment the defense have to deal with that. And I think that's been one of our biggest issues. And I agree with Andrew. We're papering over the cracks with this kind of win because I think what's interesting with Arsenal is that we're so sporadic. We're so inconsistent. We have these games where we're up and down. And unfortunately, Arteta still doesn't know who his best 11 is. And I think that's hurt some of the players this season. Some players really like continuity. Most players would probably enjoy that continuity, and we just haven't been able to do that. And I think that's been part of our problem, especially on the back line. Kieran Tierney, I mean, he showed a bit of his theatrics, that tackle, the way he embellished it. I mean, everyone does it. I wouldn't like it if another player did that. He deserved the boos after from the Crystal Palace fans, but he definitely adds another element to this team. He's a leader, and you can tell the difference in quality in that some players just aren't up to scratch playing with certain players. You see that with Pepe sometimes, you see it with Tierney, you see it with Saka, ESR. For me, even Martinelli is a player that thinks 2 or 3 steps ahead of the game. So Tierney got the assist and, makes a difference. I'll give him a 6.5.
Oh, I thought Tierney was great. I loved having him on the pitch today. He gets a 7 for me. And I don't think he was theatrical. I think he kicked him. He didn't even go for the ball. Why was that not dealt with either? Honestly, these refs are absolutely atrocious when it comes to Arsenal. Aubameyang's was, he got sent off last year at Palace, didn't he?
Yeah, but also like Rohan says, until 91 minutes, it was one shot on target, So...
but Rohan, we've won 3-1. I don't know what you want. 3-1 away from home. Does it matter when we score?
No, the point is that if we want to progress in the Premier League, we can't get away with games like this. That's the point. The point is that we need to play better football. We need to have more of a game plan. Players need to really understand their positions and what it is they're being asked to do, because that changes so much week in, week out. So there's a lot of confusion when we play, and sometimes you see that. But blaming the refs and VAR, I mean, it's just so getting old.
I'm not blaming the ref. I'm not blaming the ref. I'm not blaming anyone tonight. I don't understand what you want more. We've won 3-1. We were 1-0 down. No, we weren't. We were 1-0, wasn't it? 3-1 away from home at Palace when... I really don't understand. Over the season, of course, it's been very poor season. But we're just discussing tonight. And for me, if people can't be happy that you've won 3-1 at Palace, I'll say it again, like when we beat Chelsea.
But the point is
Can't
that
be happy.
Yeah, but the point is that so much has happened in the league this season that it's really hard to get excited about beating Palace in the situation that we are in. And I give some Arsenal fans that. I understand how they can't really get super excited about today's performance because it's a little bit too late. But should you be happy your team won? Yeah, of course. But can you criticize the the fact that, where have some of these performances been this season? Absolutely. I totally understand fans.
Lee Boy, you've obviously just joined because you shouldn't put ladies please we won tonight. We should be at least a little bit happy. You should be Soph, not me. I'm very happy. I'm like buzzing for Sunday. Listen, it's been a shit season. When you win, you got to take it when you can. We are papering over cracks that hopefully he will literally fill in the summer. We've just got to hope that Arteta's got the plan that we need, because yes, it has been a poor season.
He doesn't. We don't know that yet. We don't know if he has a plan that we need. We have no idea what's going to happen.
We will know.
We won't know, actually. No, we won't. We probably won't know till September or October.
We'll see who he buys.
In terms of, it's not who he's going to buy; it's who the club's going to buy. Right? I mean, I don't get this this Disney-esque response to beating Palace in a game we should probably win. And Palace have been a bit of a tough team for us, yes. But when we've had the season we have, I think it's perfectly understandable to have some of these questions about where the team's going.
We haven't beaten Palace at Palace since 2016. It's 5 years. So let's just enjoy we won.
Yeah,
because we've had many losses this season where it's been very depressing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's do El Neni. El Neni's one of those players that blows hot and cold. And, he had a decent game today. I'll give him a 5. I think if you're not going to have Xhaka in midfield from the get-go and you need a partner for party, then El Neni is that best option for sure.
Really? You don't think Xhaka's his best option?
No, I said if you're not going to have Xhaka available
I didn't hear that.
Party, then El Neni is the best partner to Party for sure.
Not good enough, though. Not good enough for our
team.
No,
he's not.
Hopefully
he's not
he'll be gone by the end of the season.
That's the same sentiment, isn't it, for Chambers and players like El Neni? They've just been around a long time, and they don't really offer much. Then maybe having a few solid games, but then can you rely on them to be really an integral part of the team that drives a squad like Arsenal to be a bit more competitive in the Premier League and push us forward? I don't think so.
I rate Chambers highly, much more higher than El Neni, and I'd rather him stay. But El Neni gets a 5 for me tonight. I actually think he was at fault with the goal when it first started anyway. Right, Partey, very interesting. What's your take on him?
I think Thomas Partey has come in and done a great job. And yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. I seem so down. No, I'm not down. I just don't buy this, I don't buy it. Sorry. It's going to be a long time before I'm able to express really seeing Arteta's Arsenal and what he's going to bring to the table. And tonight against Palace is really not the night to do that. Partey's been up and down. I think people who have said he's mediocre since his injury have been killed for it. But the truth is he has been. Xhaka has been better in midfield when he's played than him. I would even argue that El Neni has provided a little bit more in midfield, but Partey has moments where his brilliance surpasses both of them. Like you can see his quality. So with another few games under his belt, a bit more Premier League experience, I would expect someone of his ilk and his kind of European football prowess to be able to expedite the talent and the progress that we need to see in him playing for the Arsenal. It's a 5.5 for me.
He is a concern for me because when he first joined, he was sublime and then he got injured and he's not been sublime since, to be honest. He's had moments and hopefully next season we're going to see exactly what we have bought. And I think that is a top-class player, but it's slightly concerning at the moment. I don't want him to ever shoot. He's got to stop that because it's just a waste of time. Tonight, he'll get a 6 for me. I do like him playing there, and I do feel more comfortable with him, but I agree with you. He's not given us what we thought he was going to give us, that's for sure.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of that has to do too with, a little bit like we say with Leno, with the different players playing in front of him. I also feel like the same for Partey, new to the league. There's not been that consistency for him ahead of him or behind him either. And there's been times where he's been a lone man on an island trying to protect everything. But I do think that with the right partner, he can excel. But, we're going to, again, we don't know. We don't know. It's really tricky because there's a lot of unknowns about this team. And like John Jensen, maybe one day he's going
to have one of those goals.
Back of the net.
Hopefully I'll be there. Hopefully it could be Sunday. I don't want him to shoot, so maybe he won't.
That would be so epic if he scored.
Oh my God, if he shoots. And weirdly, I'm not sitting in my seat. I'm in the clock end East upper. I'm not in the East upper. I'm in the clock end upper, right behind the goal. So if he shoots, I'm going to see it from beginning to end, straight like that. It could. You never know. Funnier things have happened.
That would be amazing. And it would have taken a lot less time than Jensen's goal, for sure, which is good. Good evening to Kenya. Hello, Kenya.
I was going to say, the Gooners podcast is like your minder. Have you seen him sticking up for you?
No.
Oh, go on, Mike.
Oh, well, I've got a lot of my boys out there looking out for me. I love it. Look, I mean, you're always happy. You're always happy. You're always happy when the team wins, but there's a tinge of just, it's like a big sigh. It's just a big sigh because
I see it differently. I just feel, thank God, we're winning, and hopefully we can take this into the next season and have a bloody team that is consistent, because we are consistently inconsistent. So I don't know. I mean, it would be funny. Zamir just made me laugh.
What did he say? I bet I missed it. He's going to aim for your face.
He's going to aim for my face. I'm so high up. That's how far his balls go, don't they? When he kicks them.
Bit of an NFL shot from Party.
My life.
Good evening to 420 of you in live chat. Thank you so much for joining us. It's the post-game show. Crystal Palace versus the Arsenal. We won 3-1. I mean, it still wasn't pretty, but somehow we won. So you know what? Sometimes winning ugly is beautiful.
I will say, though, I thought they did try well, and I thought they didn't give up. And you could see when Aubameyang missed his chance that they were really trying, and, he was pissed off with it and everything. But you could also see that when Gabby scored, which we'll get onto in a minute, how happy the whole team were for him and for them as well. And
I felt the same way. There's certain players that score that you just know that players are elated for. You know what I mean? Even when Willian scored that free kick, everyone was kind of happy for him. They're teammates, right? So, yeah. Let's move to Pepe.
Yay. My boy. Championed him since day one. But go on, you go.
You can go first, I mean.
Okay. Well, for me, again, I think we are going to see the Pepe next season. I think slowly but surely he's come along. And each game, he's on fire. I mean, he's got no qualms about taking men on, having a shot where, a lot of our team like to go sideways, backwards and stuff. And all right, we'll talk about Smith Rowe in a minute. Carl and I were talking about this. But Pepe tonight, for me, man of the match, no doubt. I mean, no doubt in my head, because, he won us the game. And
I mean, he's done that often.
I know he has. And, this is why when at the very early ons, when you weren't a big fan of him, and I kept saying
that out, huh? You want to keep pointing that out.
Yeah, well, I'm pointing out the fact that sometimes you've got to give players a chance. They've got to have time to settle. I remember when Robert Perez joined, when Dennis Bergkamp joined, when Omri joined, they all needed time. Everyone doesn't want to give people time anymore. Like people, we've been through a very unprecedented time. Everybody has in the whole world. It's not even me exaggerating for once. The whole world has. So how do we know what's going to happen next season? So I just feel that Pepe's come on the best this season. I feel slowly but surely, I feel Arteta's used him right. For me, he gets an 8.5 tonight.
Yeah, Marcus, this is spot on. Kev and I talked about this earlier this week, that he's a victim of his price tag. That happens to a lot of players. We've seen it, across multiple clubs. The truth is that with his price tag, he really wasn't putting in the performances when he first came to the club. The shame of it is that when he did hit a groove this season too, Arteta benched him. And those are facts. They're not like, we all have opinions, but it's a fact that every time he had a good game, it seemed to be like he was benched, or he was battling against Willian when Arteta was trying to squeeze Willian into the team, especially in that kind of October, November, December month. And that COVID thing hit and he got his chance. And he's showing now and has overcome the adversity because he's had to deal with someone like Willian being a competitor. He's had to rise. He's had to put in the graft, and it's showing that his own hard work is paying off. And it's really good to see him shine in a team where he should be shining. So, yeah, he gets a 7 today. Really good performance from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only his hard work. Obviously, Arteta's worked with him. You've got to give him a bit of credit for that.
No, he's put in. Kevin said on a couple of months ago that Pepe is putting in extra work on his own after training. And it's his hard work, and he has been making that effort. So, make of that what you will. And I think with regards to his effort and the fact that Arsenal fans wanted to see a little bit more from him, I think we're seeing that now. Imagine seeing that with even better players around him, and sometimes the manager making better decisions as well when it comes to certain games and how we play. All right, who's next? Smith Rowe?
Yes, you go first with Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe and Saka, I'm going to do them. They look tired. They look bushwhacked, and it worries me that... Did KC say that Arteta's working with him? Okay, all right, Teshbo. I love it.
Yeah, someone else said that
Either way, he's working. And it's down to him to put in the extra effort and the work. The manager can't drag him out there. He has to do it on his own. And in order to become a true leader and progress yourself, you've got to want to do it yourself. But either way, as long as he's doing it, it's the benefit of the Arsenal.
Absolutely. So, as we always say, they've got to cross the line. They've got to do it. They've got to put the effort in. They've got to prove what they've got. And he is proving that he has got something. Let's just hope he stays that keen. But anyway, Smith Rowe, can't believe people are slagging off Smith Rowe, to be honest.
Yeah, no, look,
bloody season.
I think Smith Rowe's been just smooth. I mean, he's such a beautiful player to watch play football. If you don't appreciate Smith Rowe, I don't know what to say to you. I mean,
yeah, don't follow us.
Even when he has like a bad game, he still tries and he infuses himself. He makes movements. He shifts whether he's got the ball or not. And I think he and Saka are a little bit tired, Amanda. I think you can see that. But I thought he had a decent game today.
So did I.
I'll give him an easy 5.5. It's not his best, but, I don't think we should be killing Smith Rowe or Saka after they've been so incredible this season.
But I suppose because we are just marking on this game, it's fair enough if squaddies want to say that. We always say it's just this game. We're not talking about the season. He has saved us. But he is a little bit tired. I will agree with you that Saka and ESR probably need the rest, but we will hopefully see them live on Sunday. But Mike from the Gooners podcast has just said, because I haven't got anyone tonight giving me quotes, said something about Arteta came out and spoke about Martinelli and Martinelli spoke. So Mike, if you've got it, just quickly type it and we'll put it up.
It's so funny. I love how our young players are fearless to come. I mean, that's the one good thing about Arsenal Football Club is they train their young players from a media perspective very, very early on. And that's always a good thing. And I'm always impressed when the young players come out and speak, because our captain doesn't do that the way they do. And we've seen ESR do it, Saka do it, Martinelli do it this season. So kudos to them for stepping in front of the media. They're only 19 years old, like Saka and Martinelli, especially, Amanda. They're so young. But, they're fearless. They're fearless across the board.
Well, kids are fearless, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Teenagers are fearless. It's when you get a bit older, you're not as fearless and you just go for it. This is probably why Tierney keeps getting injured. Let's hope he can stay fit. I just, look, what we were talking about, ESR tonight, if I'm going to be fair, he wasn't brilliant tonight.
No, he wasn't.
And there were times, as I was saying, that me and Carl were saying that, sometimes I wish he would just go for it. A bit like what Pepe does. Go for it. Don't keep passing left and don't keep looking for players. I know that's his trade, but sometimes I think he needs to be a bit more selfish. I honestly think he's an artist in the making. I think we're very lucky, and I cannot have anyone slacking him off. I can't. Not
you know what, Amanda? Do you know why remember, he's also playing to a strategy and a tactical plan. And so sometimes maybe that's why whether we see him do too much or too little, he's probably trying to execute what the manager wants. And I do think there's been times this season where Saka and he have put the team on their shoulders a lot when things haven't been going well. And sometimes that's worked and sometimes it hasn't. But my goodness, one of the highlights that we did on our positive week last week was Amesy, amen. Love our Haaland boys. Amazing.
We do.
So, yeah.
We do. What should we get? What should we give him? 6? I think that's a fair mark.
I'm going to give it. I gave him a 5.5, and I'll give Saka Actually, I'll give ESR a 6 and Saka a 5. It wasn't Saka's best game. He's knackered, and you know what worries me, Amanda, is him going to the Euros and coming
I don't want
back.
any of them going anywhere, to be honest.
No,
because they've not had a rest, have they? No. And also, some of these players have struggled through COVID. You don't know what's gone on with their families. You don't know how how it's affected their mental health. Some players can only raise their game in front of fans. Tonight was so amazing to hear football fans and not the television giving us sound, and they're singing, and I even loved it. And I joked with someone on Twitter when someone said, "You're always cheating." How amazing to even hear it.
I was literally just about to say to you, was it not like music to your ears to hear same old Arsenal, always cheating?
I just kept thinking to myself,
so good.
Has the last year really happened? Because I'm going to football on Sunday. When is the last time I've said that? I've even planned everything.
Like what you're having for lunch and stuff?
Well, the thing is, it's very hard because you have to book pubs, and I don't normally do that. I normally go from one to the other. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what time I'm leaving.
Is that because it's just opened? Is that why?
We only you can't just walk in. You can walk in. I don't even know if you can walk into a pub. I think you have to book tables. I don't want to book anything. I will just be round the Emirates and hopefully bumping into all our lovely squaddies or all my old friends that I've missed.
There's no Tollington, right?
No, they are open. I think they are open.
Really?
On Sunday.
Oh, okay, we'll get to that at the end. I'm going to add Mike in a minute. Hold on, Mike. I'm going to add you in just a second. We're just going to unless you want to come in on the last couple. Screw it.
Just
Hello,
bring
Mike.
him in.
Screw it.
He's becoming
my
like
name
a
is usually
resident.
preceded by screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Is this
Right,
the
come on
therapy
then.
session?
Tell me what
I wanted to
Martinelli and
sign up for the
Arteta.
therapy session.
No, Michael.
Hot and cold.
Michael, just tell us. What did
Tell us
Arteta
what?
say with Martinelli?
Yeah, Mike.
Well, first of all, he said, same old Arsenal, always cheating. I thought that was the fake crowd noise. Like, they should have had that the whole year.
Brilliant.
The fake crowd noise. But
Martinelli
came out and said, as far as being ready to play at any time, I'm always ready. When Mikel needs me, I'll be there, which is nice to hear. I mean, that's towing the line.
When Mikel needs me. Yeah.
Love that.
When Mikel needs me, I'll be there. Then he says, we have brilliant players. We believe we can qualify for the Europa League. This is the spin now, that we want to qualify for the Europa League. We need to go there and win the next game. Then Arteta came out and said, when asked how close he was starting, this is all compliments of Chris Wheatley, very close, like 3 seasons away, and then he'll be starting. He didn't say that part, but he said he needs to keep fighting to be closer and closer. We need to understand where the boys are in their phase of development. They're going to earn the chances. It's a joy to have them with us. He talked about Nicola Pepe. He talked about the winning goal on the fans being there. You want me to go into that as well?
Yeah. I can't read the quotes tonight, so you do it. Go on.
Okay. He said, you could see how happy I was on the touchline when we scored. When you're able to win the game in the last minute, it's really pleasing. It shows the team have belief until the last whistle, so it's really good.
What is that noise, Michael? If you come on
I mean, listen, you've been called Microwave Mike right now, Magic Mike.
Michael, you're not Magic.
Microsoft Mike.
Oh,
I mean, get your shit
Apple
together.
Watch Mike, just that.
If
That's
you
the
come
first
on a
time I've ever heard my
professional
watch talk to me.
podcast, Michael, you need to be ready. Go on.
I should have stepped up my game. On Nicola Pepe, he's come a long way in terms of consistency and the games he's producing. It's in his mindset. He wants to look at every action, every post-match reflection we do with him. When he has the talent he has. When he has the talent that he has, it's a really good mixture. I don't think he's saying like sometimes he has talent, sometimes he doesn't. I mean, he's big upping everybody right now because he's just won a game. On fans, it was touching just being in the dressing room before, listening to them singing, creating an atmosphere. I'm sure the Arsenal fans will turn up, sit in clock end upper, support the team, and we need to create again that strong connection with the fans.
I'm telling you now, there's only 10,000 going. If you lot don't hear me, my mum
is where the Arsenal America tickets usually are. So,
are they?
Other than when I get tickets from a mate or from Jack Stevenson, for example, we
love Jack.
Oh, Jack's the greatest, and his tickets are. He's amazing. His tickets are even more amazing than he is. But
I'm literally, Mike. I'm behind that goal. It's like there.
I'm familiar with it. It's a nice view, but I prefer being lower. I like being closer to the action.
Like upper, but I want to be back in my seat in the east stand. I'll be waving to my feet.
Well, we've had a pandemic. Be happy with what you got. I'm sitting here 6,000 miles away.
I don't want to tell anyone I got tickets because they might come and try and take them.
I'm going to be sitting in my own house lower. So, you're in clock end upper. So,
okay, let's move on. Thank you very much for the seat arrangements.
Yeah, bye, Mike.
He's staying for a reason, and we're going to touch on that a little bit later. Let's just wrap up. Oh gosh, I thought I sent that. Okay, here we go. Let's go to. We've done Saka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, captain, fantastic. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore about him.
No, I've got nothing to say.
He gets a 3. I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't even think we're stuck with him now. And something will happen, and he'll come good. And next season he'll probably be a Predator and the guy that we've always loved. But I know he's had problems this season. We've talked about it ad nauseum. I'm not going to make excuses. I mean, right now he should be performing a little bit better, and he's just not. I mean,
a little bit.
I mean, a little bit would go a long way, Amanda. Just
a
poquito. I mean, I just don't.
He's only picked because of his name. That's it, and who he is,
and the armband.
That's it, because you can't pick him on. I can't think of the word. Oh
Form.
My god, I get brain freeze. Like consistency. You can't pick him on that because any other player we'd be ripping him to pieces. But I'm prepared to let this season go. It's gone. It's finished. We've got Sunday, and that's that. And then if he starts off in the first couple of months, he's like that. He's gone for me. It should be sold at Christmas.
Well, that would be his value would not be great to do that, especially if he just continues to go on a downward trajectory. The time would be now where we could maybe get a little bit of bang for our buck. But that time was last season when we signed him to the deal. And I just think that asset-wise, Lacazette and, there are other assets that we can make up. I think with Aubameyang, unless he's unhappy and there's an issue between him and Arteta since the North London derby, they've got to figure it out or something's got to give.
But don't you feel if there was an issue, he wouldn't be picked? If there was an issue, if he had an attitude problem, he wouldn't be picked.
I don't think so. I think Arteta knows, he's desperate to win right now. He needs results. Aubameyang gives him still, despite how poor he's been, the best opportunity for that because we're not getting goals from other parts of the pitch. This is what we've lacked. Arsenal's biggest deal this summer, you guys, we have to find players who can get goals from different positions. When Willian's up there on stats, we've got problems. When Lacazette's scoring more goals than Aubameyang, we've got problems. So I think this is our Achilles heel, and he hasn't helped. But I can understand, as much as I don't like Arteta, why he's picking him, because given the stakes, and Lacazette maybe still not be the same since that injury, this is where we're at. Mike?
I mean, the stakes as far as, possibly nipping 6th and getting into actual Europe instead of crap Europe, is that those are fairly high. But I mean, ultimately, whether in Europa or not next season doesn't change the fact that we need a Champions League type of summer to gear up for for that, so that we can get back in there next year. And so I don't know that the stakes are that high that we wouldn't play the players who are on form. I mean, I was not a fan of Aubameyang starting today, and he certainly didn't prove me wrong today. There are other times where he has, but I backed him to find his form in the second half of the season, and he's had 2 personal issues, one illness, one family. So, again, it's circumstantial. But to me, I was saying this yesterday on our preview pod, the guy is kind of in the same mold as a Jose Mourinho as far as things just like clockwork going wrong in year 3 or 4 of their duration with, it's just not, he's not a long-term boyfriend. He's a fling.
But he also hasn't had long-term service this season. And I saw, James, I put your comment up. I said that on Twitter. 2 players have saved Arteta's bacon. 2 players that Arteta didn't fancy have saved his bacon again tonight. And Mike, I totally hear what you're saying on that
front.
Hold
on, sorry. What 2 players?
Pepe and Martinelli.
How do you know Arteta doesn't fancy them?
Well, because Pepe's featured more so in the Europa League and done great and been benched when he's been hot. And Martinelli hasn't been given a chance when he deserves to, when this team has struggled towards the end of the season where he's been fit.
Ready, but hey ho!
Oh,
come on,
you can't stop with that. He's not ready. Look what he did when he came. Amanda
doesn't fancy them.
Oh my God, Amanda! Look what he did when he came on.
I can't hear it anymore. God,
I can't hear what you're saying anymore because all you do is back Arteta.
Well, it's a good thing I'm here then, because
it is a good thing.
Love and cheer.
Love and peace. Sophie seems to know that he doesn't fancy them. Which is
shockingly, I agree.
Has he fancied them?
I agree with both of what you're saying. He clearly, I don't know if fancy is the best word to use, especially because me saying fancy is there's just something wrong with that. But
it's because he doesn't start him in the next game.
He clearly hasn't trusted Martinelli's completeness to play him
because he's not complete yet.
Well,
he trusts Saka, Smith Rowe, and Tierney because they are.
I agree that Martinelli's not complete yet.
Of course, he's not.
But I don't know that. I mean, I also would say that Saka's not complete yet.
No, come on, he's much more complete than Martinelli.
Read James's comment, because Martinelli barely starts, and Pepe went from being man of the match in a cup final for benched for months for Willian. Amanda, these are facts. This is what happened, and despite that.
That's not facts. It's opinion and how you feel about
Pepe has been our high scorer in the Europa League. He's created more assists in the Europa League, and so he has been able to do more in the Premier League with less starts this season than he had with more starts last season. So if you look at the trajectory of Arteta's relationship with choosing him versus not, I mean, if he had just had more faith.
Can I say something?
Go.
With the exception of Willian, who should never be put in over anybody, and I know that Willian was selected over Pepe quite a bit earlier this season. With the exception of him, we have Odegaard, ESR, Saka, Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and only 4 spots really to place all of them in. So
and think about this, Mike. Joe Willock's coming back as well, and look what he's done.
Well, and that's another debate. Should he or should he not? I'd try to get Chamberlain and Iwobi money for him right now. But I'm happy to speak to that in a minute. But the favoring, we aren't in a position where we've had to select a front 4 that is both healthy and consistent the whole time. Where Arteta loses me on this is when it's Willian that steps in over these guys. But if you're gonna put Pepe down so that you can start Odegaard and ESR on the left and have Saka on the right, it's hard for me to argue against that. And some of Pepe's non-starts have been that. The ones that are Willian, I have no idea. But I wouldn't say he doesn't fancy Pepe. I think Pepe has earned and is earning his trust going into next season. I think Martinelli, he probably made a deal with Martinelli that said, you're not going to get a lot of minutes this season. We want to preserve you and save you.
Well, he's injury prone as well. When he came back from a massive injury,
I don't know that he's injury prone.
Well. What, Martinelli?
When he falls, he cries.
I
think that there's been a discussion saying Martinelli, your breakout season, Martinelli, is going to be next year. And so for this season, Martinelli's happy to get whatever he can get, rightly or wrongly.
That's what I think.
He hasn't trusted him this season. So
and he should have played.
Does he fancy them?
Yeah.
He's playing a long game. And unfortunately, the results this season have shortened the leash that most people would have on him to be able to play that long game. So it looks pretty bad that he's saving Balogun for next season, saving Martinelli for next season. In the meantime, we're dropping points in the second half of this season.
But Mike, let me ask you a question here, because I know you're sort of both on both sides and different reasons. If you pick Martinelli regularly, you've got to bench ESR or Saka. So which one are you going to bench?
That's exactly what I'm saying. When you have 2 games a week, but they're the
ones that have improved this season, ahead of Martinelli.
That's but ESR's not going to be fit for the whole season. Everyone's going to get their chance.
I agree with you. Absolutely. But they have been fit this season. And when they have,
they have not. No, they have not. Martinelli's been injured, and so has ESR.
But Pepe's played. So what Mike's trying to say is there's quite a few players for the same position.
But ESR's role's different to Martinelli. That's a completely different argument, completely different discussion. What you should be asking is Aubameyang going to start on the left or is Martinelli? Because we need a striker. We need a new striker.
Does our team not play better when Aubameyang
with Lacazette in the 9? We do. Yeah, we play better with Lacazette in the 9
or Martinelli or whatever. Correct. Because that way you can get that speed in there. You get people who Pepe can play off of instead of the Pepe Aubameyang thing. Rarely works. It didn't drive Pepe off today. Pepe just basically decided he was going to take over and Aubameyang would have to take a back seat. But the two of them together doesn't often work because they both need service. And
Pepe likes to be he likes to shine. Look at he plays so much better when Bellerin's not playing at right back. Once again, whether it's Cedric or whether it's Chambers, he plays so much better.
I think Pepe requested that Bellerin just be banned from the stadium on game days.
I mean, and he likes, I think, but to be fair, Pepe, Lacazette and Aubameyang leading up to the FA Cup last season were fantastic together as that trio. So, I think you have to...
That's interesting, though. But Martin's comment, Martinelli has played 7 of the last 9 games.
I think played in, not started.
Yeah, played in 7 of the last games.
Right.
In.
You can do worse. You can do worse than a plan B of Martinelli. It used to be Giroud was
off
the
plan
B.
Yeah, totally.
If he's bringing him in... But if he's bringing him in now, though, Mike, he's obviously got his plan for. I think he's got a plan for next season. Listen, in 6 months' time, I could be sitting here going, "I was absolutely wrong." Arteta ain't got a clue. I honestly want to give him an absolute chance with this transfer window. He did well. He did well in the winter. Let's wait and see. Yes, but the Willian thing, Mike, I say this every week. If I could ask Arteta one question, it'd be why Willian. It was the only thing that I could never understand. But there we go.
And we'll never know. No,
maybe when he writes
that's what my biggest tantrum this season was maybe a week before Christmas, and it was because I didn't get the Hanukkah presents I wanted. Also, it was because just this one game where Willian got the start, and I knew he was going to get the start, and he got the start, and I just lost. I that's when I made the everyone out shirt. I was just done, and then of course it turned around. So I go from one end to the other pretty quickly.
Listen, it's not easy seeing the positives in the season, and you try to see the positives, and when they come so late after so many negatives, it's difficult to get excited about it. You can be happy about it, but you don't necessarily have to be excited about it.
I honestly, it's been tough.
I try to compartmentalize. I mean, I am so happy in the moment watching us win that game. In the moment, it's okay not to be. There's no problem not having a perspective. It's just, are you looking at things in 5-minute increments, 90-minute increments, or 9-month increments?
17 years.
30 years in some cases, but it's to me, I want to be happy, so I gravitate towards whichever one of those things makes me happiest. If we had a great season and then absolutely just made in our bed in the last 2 weeks, I would probably be salvaging my mood by saying yes, but it's been a good season. This is bound to happen. If we've had a crap season as we have, and we win a game like we did today, I want to be happy in the moment, but that doesn't mean I'm happy with the entire.
Yeah, of course, but we're not doing an end of season show because we're not there yet. We're talking about this match. We've beat Palace away 3-1. I'm in a happy mood.
You have to.
You can't dictate how someone's got to feel.
It's been a crap season, but we've won tonight. So I'm sorry, but we go to football for the game, for the result. If we'd have lost 3-1 at Palace, we'd have been distraught. But
I go to football for the pub. I don't know about
you do for the pub.
Okay. All right, time out. 49 minutes in on a post game.
We've done everyone, or we not?
We're not doing subs. Are we doing subs? Who cares?
Odegaard did well. He calls the third goal.
He's going home. It doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. I'm sorry.
I like Odegaard. Why
he's not staying
home?
Because he's going to cost too much money. Real Madrid desperately need money, and it's going to be 40 to 50 million, and it's not happening.
I've come to terms with that as well. It's not that I don't want him, but I think it's not destined to happen. If there's a coaching change at Real Madrid, that just resets everything, and I don't see how he's that surplus to requirements there to be looking. Maybe another loan, but we won't know that until like the end of September probably.
And whether he wants to stay or not as well, remember, whether he's happy to stay. He might want to go back. I want him to stay. Who else? No, that's it then, isn't it? We've done all the players.
Yeah. Who else came on?
Xhaka came on.
Oh, did he?
Xhaka, yeah, he was in the middle of the celebration, looking like someone had just farted on him. Like he did not look happy at all.
Well, he's going. I mean, what's the manager's score for tonight?
I hate this question. This is such a loaded question because it just reveals, players or managers.
Yeah, Earl will get it started. 7 out of 10 from Earl. And stop going on about Willock. Just stop. He's not the answer.
How do you know?
Let's cash in.
Malone could have worked.
Willock, he's shown that the badge is too heavy for him.
Yeah.
Already, I believe. I think he's found his level. Now, someone interestingly said, but we're saying he found his level, but yet we're craving guys like Max Aarons and Emi Buendia who have always, only succeeded at Norwich. Well, we don't know what their level is yet because they've only been at that level. We kind of know what Willock has, and I think the badge might be a little too heavy for him. I think the fact that he might actually be good at a lower level should help his sales price, and what might have been 15 might now be 35 or 40.
When you mean a lower level, because it'll still be, so say Newcastle wanted him, it'd still be in the Premier League, but you mean at a smaller club?
But he's not
with less expectations.
But he's guaranteed starts there. He's guaranteed.
That's
less
the problem.
Expectations,
he's not
although scoring 6 and 6 or whatever it is.
And he shines in a team where he's more of a talent. That weighs on
certain people.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's shining in a Newcastle team.
And it doesn't mean that he's not as good as he is.
Yeah. Mike, I think there might be a delay because we're
saying you either talking
I've always
each
said
other.
about Brendan Rodgers. I've always said Brendan Rodgers.
He's still talking. Stum, this is not your podcast.
Be nice. He's our very special guest, and we're doing a very special show with him tomorrow night, and he's put a lot into it, and we're going to talk about it in just a second. So you shush. How about that?
No, this is my podcast, Michael.
Oh, all right. It's our podcast, and we've got a great guest on, and it's Mike from the Gooners Pod, and we've got a very special show coming tomorrow. Give your take on Arteta just one last time. I'm going to give him a 6. Mike, what are you going to give him?
6.2. He could have put Martinelli in a little bit earlier.
But we won 3-1. He made the right subs, and he's getting an 8 from me. But there's a shock, eh? How can you even think? Because we won 3-1. He set the team up right, brought the subs on at the right time, and we were at 1-1 and we won 3-1.
Better than average.
Yeah,
6.2.
It's a good one. I like the 0.2. Very
but
important.
you can see all the agenda for Arteta out. They're never going to give him any more. Like Soph wouldn't. So it doesn't matter.
Yes, I would. I gave him high scores when he deserves it. I just think in a game where we've
How does he not deserve it? We won 3-1.
It's my opinion. My opinion is that
we know your opinion. It's fine. It's fine. I love Arteta. You don't. It doesn't matter. It's fine to be.
Well, maybe if I could actually say my opinion, then people could hear it and they would understand that I give him credit where it's due. And right now, I feel like it's too little, too late for me. That's my own personal point.
But we're marking him on this game,
right?
And you gave him a 6.
Yeah. Because I think actually players play well despite him, not because of him.
Oh, now it's the players. Okay.
Wait, I just said it's the players play despite him, not because of him. I'm not crediting anyone, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I've credited the players all season when they've deserved it, right? You guys have criticized them even in bad games, where I've kind of stood up for them when they've been harshly criticized because the managers tried to put square pegs in round holes.
Oh, bye, Mike.
Right. Here we go. That's it for the moment. Mike. We got Mike.
Oh,
back.
he's back.
I know where to stand. I stand on the left and the right. It's all good. Like you don't have to like Arteta. You don't have to like Arteta. You don't have to support everything he does. You can not support the players. It's totally up to you guys. Whatever you want, it's your opinion, right? Our club is in disarray. There's a lot going on, and we've had the worst season in the history of the Premier League. We've broken all the wrong records for all the right records for all the wrong reasons, you know. And I know that the form table says one thing from December, but the league starts in August. And the problem for Arsenal Football Club is being consistent from August to May, not for 3 months or 2 months or 6 months. That's all. But Magic Mike, you are now completely Magic Mike because you made yourself disappear. So now people really think that you can do magic.
I can. I'm apparently on a lag, which is why we keep talking over each other. So I was trying to fix that, and I was running away from the arguing.
You're not a runner.
Daddy fight.
You're not a runner. Okay, so tell us about tomorrow night. We've got a great show lined up, and Mike and I have been working on this one, and we're really excited to bring it to you as a co-production between the Highbury Squad and the Gooners Pod. Our podcast has been friends for a very long time, going back to way back from other pods that Amanda and I and Mike have been on. And, you know, tell them about tomorrow because we're adding another hook, aren't we?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting because, I mean, we started talking about this in like February, maybe January, February. I can't believe it's actually tomorrow that it's happening. But
oh wow, I didn't know anything about this. Tell me all, Michael. I want to hear.
We are having a show that is specifically. It's not exclusive to America by any point, but with Sophie and I emanating from the United States at the moment, we're focusing on someone that people over here see every week, every day, pretty much on television. Rebecca Lowe of NBC Sports. She is the studio host. She's been on BBC, on ESPN in the UK, so you all should know her over there as well. But she is a beloved, kind of host of the studio show in NBC. She deals with all the Robbies. She deals with Tim Howard. She deals with just about everybody that does the broadcast for the show. And she's just outstanding and friends to all, even though she is a Crystal Palace supporter. So we might actually be able to hold one over on her tomorrow.
I was thinking about her tonight.
Yeah, but we're going to be chatting with her. We have another special guest that's going to be joining us, who we're keeping secret for the time being. We're going to be having some great Arsenal America or Americans who are active in the Arsenal community on with us as well. It's going to be kind of a Q&A, right? So, just kind of asking her for her experiences, talking about how, football's been televised in the U.S. regularly, where you could pretty much see the games, especially if you were, a supporter of one of the big four at the time, since the late 90s, early 2000s. But in 2013, NBC Sports bought the rights, and the way that they've done it has been so much more authentic, so much more palatable. Every single game is available, although sometimes behind a paywall now. But it's it's just been a fantastic way of growing the sport here, and so we're really excited to welcome her in. Obviously, Kev will be here, Amanda will be here, so it's just going to be a love fest, I think, and
some key key Gooners from the US who are going to pop in. Everyone's going to get a few minutes to pop in and ask Rebecca and Kev and our very special guest a question. And some of those faces you may know and some of them you may not know either. So it's going to be really fantastic. And Mike, you're going to do something in conjunction with the charity, right?
Yeah, it's also serving as the official, unofficial kickoff for the 2021 Gooners versus Cancer campaign. So I don't think I'd been as regularly coming on with you, when I was doing the campaign last year as I have now. So if you're just hearing about this for the first time, we do, and we're expanding it this year. We're looking for partnerships So it isn't just us doing it, but Gooners versus Cancer came up with a charity, or the Gooners podcast came up with a charity called Gooners versus Cancer. We raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is a cause that's very near and dear to me, as I lost my father to leukemia about 11 years ago. So every year we raise money. Every year it's grown. Last year, amazingly, we did $21,000 in donations coming from all over the world to help fight blood cancers. And we try to make it fun and give people opportunities and give people great things to bid for. So when you donate, you automatically get entered into a raffle where you can win prizes. Last year we had signed jerseys by Arsenal legends. We've had books signed by Arsene Wenger. We even had a Mesut Ozil signed jersey. Believe it or not, people wanted that.
Very collectible now. Very collectible.
Yeah, first team signed kit from the women's team. Just a lot of great prizes. And you can go to goonersvcancer.com or goonersversuscancer.com. Either one, they'll go to the same place. You can check out the new page. But kicking it off tomorrow, we're doing a special kind of early bird auction. So if you donate between now and the end of May, you'll get raffle tickets that all go into the pot for the raffle that we do later in the summer. And you'll be included in that. But you'll also be included in a May-only raffle for a team-signed, I don't know if you could see the signatures on here, but they're on there. Team-signed.
Go to your left. Yeah. Up. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I can see them. Yeah.
Team-signed kit from this year with signatures of most, if not all, of the first team. Official certificate of authenticity from the club. This came directly from Arsenal, who donated it, which is fantastic. They've been great partners for us. And so if you donate anytime from essentially right now to the end of May, you'll be entered into that specific raffle, and we'll draw it at the end of May. Maybe we'll even draw it on your podcast if you'll have us. But
yeah, no, definitely. And everyone's writing: Danny, Raul, Matty K, Dimitri, all of our regular listeners, Loki, Justin, Mark, so many people saying what a great cause. Arsenal Los Angeles, of course. We will continue to promote that throughout the summer here on the Highbury Squad. What a brilliant charity Gooners versus Cancer is. You do an amazing job, Mike, and you have our full support. And we're happy to be involved in the kickoff for that over the next 2 or 3 months. And
last year, really, it touched me quite a bit because I almost didn't. But COVID was just getting started. People were, donating to COVID charities, to businesses that were having trouble. It was just such a difficult year for everybody. And I just woke up one day and said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to try to do it. If we raise $2,000, $4,000, whatever it is, I'll feel lucky. And it just snowballed. We doubled our best previous total. So I have high goals for this year because there's in-person fundraising that's back. We're trying to get some corporate people involved. There's a few events that we're going to be doing. So lots of cool announcements to come, but just to get us started, we'll talk about it more tomorrow with a great panel and guests.
Chapo, yes.
But you want that jersey. You absolutely want that shirt.
And you can donate if you're not in the US. So Michael, give the address again, Mike, for the website so people can find that real quick.
Yeah, if you go to Gooners v Cancer, it'll take you directly to the website. There's a donation link. It is not a website of ours. It is a website of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And so when you donate, you're donating directly to them, not to us to donate to them. That's very important that you know that. If you are in an area where charitable donations help you with your taxes, it is fully tax deductible. So, talk to your accountant, but that's it's a tax-deductible donation directly to them, and you can donate if you donate $50 and you live in India or you live in Nigeria or England or anywhere else, it will obviously convert on your credit card to your local currency, but it's appreciated, and anybody is eligible to win. If somebody wins a prize and they live in Malaysia, I'll ship it to Malaysia. That's part of the deal.
Very cool. stuff. Okay, so make sure you tune in tomorrow 8 p.m. UK time for a very special live Q&A. Rebecca Lowe is an epic human. Super Kevin Campbell, as you know, is an epic human. And we have a very special surprise guest who is also an epic human. And you guys are going to love that. And thanks to Mike for helping with that particular guest as well. We're really happy for our collaboration.
Well, I've got to call Thierry.
You got Thierry Henry. Make sure he's up in time, okay? I do have to do this real quick as well.
It's Dennis Bergkamp. I didn't want to spoil it.
Don't spoil that it's Patrick Vieira. Stop.
Bergkamp.
Football prizes, our good friends. Thank you so much for this week's auction as well. A very different auction, you guys. It's a signed and framed boot by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. These might be the boots from last season where he actually scored goals, but still worth the investment for sure. Go over to footballprizes.co.uk. What?
Oh, I'm sorry to jump in over that. I forgot I'm supposed to be hosting an open mic show that started 8 minutes ago. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, you are.
I've completely lost track of time talking to my two loves. So I'm going to head out. Love you guys. And if you want to continue to talk about Arsenal, go to GoonerOpenMic.com and we can continue this fun fest after those guys are off the air. So
sounds good.
Thank you so much,
Mike.
guys.
We'll see you tomorrow,
darling.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that's hilarious. If I head on over to the Gooners pod on YouTube, because we're out, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. We won. We hear West Ham are winning. It's out of our hands now. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we had positive week last week. We're trying to keep positive. There's ups and downs, but you know what? We're along for the ride and we always believe in our Arsenal. So until then, let the troops know.
Until then, I'll let the troops know that you have to join us at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Very exciting show. It's going to be brilliant. Please head over to Gooners versus Cancer. Please donate. And hopefully one of you might win something because it does go all around the world. So please do it. Lovely calls. Thanks to Mike. We love Mike. He is actually a friend of mine as well, but we love Magic Mike. Thanks to Soph for hosting. And I'd like to personally thank all of you. You're all wonderful. I love you all. Whether I'm here or not, I love you all. And always, 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 always Arsenal.